Okay, so same-sex marriage. Now, honestly, this seems, for some reason, this is such a very polarizing topic. You know, some people find this like fundamentally challenging. It challenges their core values. Other people, this is an equal rights issue. And so they just don't understand why certain people can take rights from others. Now, honestly, Dr. Phil sets up this debate on his show. And Dr. Phil, I know, but he sets up this debate on his show, and of course, it ends up being an unproductive discourse just because this is such a passionate debate. And in order for you guys to understand, first we need to go into some context, and then we'll understand that because Dr. Phil did set it up correctly, there are a few good qualities. One of them is deliberation, but honestly, it just becomes animalistic, and there's a lack of listening and combativeness. It just overruns the debate. And so, for the context, now this is May 2009. Proposition 8 has just been passed in California, and Proposition 8 is a law that says that in the state of California, you cannot legally marry the same sex. And what Dr. Phil does, this is great TV, what he does is he sets up his audience. He has two sides of the audience, the pro-marriage and the against marriage. And he brings in 6 experts. On the pro-marriage side, there is a equal rights lawyer. There is there's the president of the Equal Rights Organization and the mayor of San Francisco. On the against side, there's a pastor, marriage organization CEO, and Yes on 8 head campaign man. Also the two sides of the crowd. Now, like I said, there was a plus, and the plus was the fact that Dr. Phil sets up, he has these panelists, and they're very well educated. Equal rights lawyer, she brings in ideas from the Constitution. This is an equal rights issue. They compare it to civil rights. The pastor brings in the issue that marriage was founded from the Bible. Don't call it marriage. Let them come together in a civil union, but just don't call it marriage. That's our word. Other than that, Jeff Flint said, once again, he brings in, I'm sorry, he's the Yes on 8 guy. He brings in an idea of let them marry outside of the church. So there were a couple good ideas, but because it's such a passionate topic, it just started being taken over by combativeness and lack of listening. And the combativeness is, for example, there were 5 interjections in a 2-minute segment of an hour-long debate. The lawyer, she needed to be heard. If, for example, Pastor Jim Garlow brings up this point that he's gonna use Europe as like a model, and she laughs at his idea, and she says, obviously, once we start talking about California, we have to go all the way over to Europe and use this model over here, kind of bringing the crowd in a little bit. At one point in time, the pro side brings in civil rights. Some African-American lady from the against side stands up and screams, "You have never met an ex-black person. You have always seen ex-gays." People switch sexual preferences. Now you can't go anywhere with this kind of combativeness within a debate. It just becomes screaming. And so, aside from that, hand in hand, there's a lack of listening. The lawyer seemed to just listen to tear apart, like I said, where she was just edging at Pastor Garlow. She's just trying to get to him. Jeff Flint, the Yes on 8 guy, says something about equal rights within the church. What about marrying interracially? And she says, honestly, I don't care about the church. That's not my job. My job is California. Once again, bringing the crowd in on her side. It was just they were talking over quite often, and a couple of the pro panelists just seemed to use the against panelists' ideas, point out their flaws, bring in the crowd, and ideas were gone. So in conclusion, this was an unproductive discourse, but Dr. Phil set it up correctly by bringing in 3 very intelligent panelists. It could have very easily been productive discourse had they just controlled the conversation, better yet, turned it into a conversation versus a screaming action, and created a sense of virtue within the debate.